Hey there, I'm Martell, serial entrepreneur, investor, and creator of SaaS Academy. In this episode, I'm gonna share with you the definition of SaaS. Why is it hot? Why are people creating them? Why are they so valuable? And be sure to stay at the end, because if you're interested in this topic, I'm gonna tell you how to get access to my Idea to Exit mini course on how you can build your own SaaS product. Let's get into it. So I've been building software as a service company, SaaS, for the last 23 years. Yes, I know I look so young and you're like, how is that possible? Did you start when you were 5? No, I am older, but no, I know I look older, I got gray hair. But I wanna tell you this because my friend Marty recently, I was at his house and I've known Marty literally since I was 12. And he goes, hey man, can I ask you a question? I'm like, yeah, what's up? And he goes, what does SaaS mean? Again, I've known him my whole life. I share about it on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, on all these social platforms, and he never felt comfortable enough to ask me. So for Marty, even though I already explained it to him, SaaS stands for software as a service. I'm gonna get into the definition, I'm gonna get into why it's interesting, but here's some cool facts, okay? 40% year-on-year growth, okay? It's an industry that's growing like crazy, and the valuations, if you have a software company, the valuations are 5 to 10 times top line revenue. So just to give you context, if you're in the restaurant industry, you may get away with 1 times top line revenue. If you're in the service industry, it's usually 0.7 top line revenue. Most of those businesses focus on EBITDA, earnings before interest, tax, and amortization. Anyways, EBITDA. The reason why SaaS is so powerful is because of the subscription concept. But I gotta tell you what it is first before I tell you about the financial economics and why it's so powerful. Let's get into it. Number 1, what is SaaS? So software as a service is essentially a new method for delivering software applications. So at your work, okay, or on your computer, you probably have tools that you use. Back in the day, they used to be installed on local servers, and you use sometimes a client server window to get access to the server. And that's why if you went to you go to the bank and they'd have like these terminals with black screens and text, and they would just like hit F1 and all these buttons. That's because that computer was connected to a more powerful server. What's changed now in the delivery method is it's using the internet for you to get access to these applications, okay? These softwares as a service. Now, and a lot of people make the mistake, they think anything subscription is SaaS. It's not subscription as a service, it's software, okay? So it has to be a tool, and it's usually either delivered through a web interface or a mobile app. But that is the big idea, is that it's using the internet now, not a local network, and it's not client server, to deliver the software. Number 2, why is it new? Well, back in the day, you used to have to like buy the hardware. So you had to buy servers, you had to buy the software from the software creators, and you had to install it in a server room and then set up the terminals and get people access to the server, and they could do the applications, the accounting, the management of the business, whatever it was. What's changed now is that, and in the middle, there was this thing called ASP, application service providers, where as a business, if I didn't want to invest millions of dollars in servers and software licenses, et cetera, I could just pay another company to host it all for me, and then they would charge me a subscription for it, right? So that's the beginning of, and sometimes it was a multi-year contract, so it wasn't necessarily a monthly subscription, but they would not make me have to pay for the whole upfront investment, and then I could just pay for the amount of usage I had. So if I had 10 employees today and 100 employees next year, I'd only have to pay for the 10 today. The challenge with the ASP model is that these application service providers, these companies, would then have all these different versions of software and systems across all these different servers, because some companies would upgrade, some other companies would configure and change the code, and essentially they had literally just a server farm full of different installs, so there was no efficiencies. What happened with software as a service, when you're connecting in to the same code base, even though they will provide security separations called multi-tenant. I'm not going to get into the technical terms. But with software as a service now, instead of having a company that manages all these different softwares, the software company says, look, we'll host it for you. We'll put it up on the internet. We'll give you the ability to add your team members and security and all this stuff. And you just pay us a monthly subscription for it. So that's where software as a service allows you to essentially pay by the drink. You don't have to pay for the glass or the jug of water. You can just say, if I take a drink, you're going to charge me this month. If I take a lot of drinks, you're going to charge me a little bit more. And that's called metered pricing. So software as a service essentially allowed us to not have to make a big investment up front and have somebody else host it for us. Number 3, why is this preferred? There's 4 main reasons why software as a service is preferred as a business buying software. Number 1, OpEx versus CapEx. Operating expenses are things you can write off, okay? Capital expense, typically you can't write it off. You have to depreciate it over time. Well, servers and software and all that stuff, those typically in the past were CapEx, capital investments. Now what happens is, as software as a service becomes something that you pay for to deliver the business, like you use the tool to deliver value to your customer, you can now transfer this over to operating expenses. Operating expenses you can write off, so it's actually more tax efficient. So that's number 1. Number 2 is time value of money. Instead of having to have $2-3 million or go borrow $2 or $3 million to buy what's called an ERP, an enterprise resource planning tool to run your company, now I can just pay a little bit every month and get that going. So I don't have to put a lot of capital today into a big investment. I can put little pieces so I have more capital to invest in marketing, in sales, in customer success to grow my company. Number 3, we need to focus on speed of deployment. If I need to procure the hardware, install the operating system, find place in a data room, and do all this work, then the time that I decide, hey, we really need this solution to do better accounting or better project management or whatever it is, the speed to actually getting something my company can use might be months, right? Now I can just literally go online, start a trial, check it out, add all the people on my team, and we could get going in the same hour. Isn't that crazy? That's why I love it so much. And then success of using the software now, instead of it, you buy the server and you install the software, and now you as a business owner have to figure out how to be successful with the software. The success of it is now pushed back onto the software creator, because if it's not easy to use, it's not easy to get deployed, if it's not fast to get value, then you're just gonna go find somebody else that solves a similar problem because there's no effort. I didn't make a big investment up front. I'm in a trial. A lot of these software as a service, they have a trial 14 days, 7 days, 30 days for me to play with it to see if I like it. So now all of a sudden, me being successful with this new tool is put the responsibility onto the software creator so the interface is better, it's faster, it's clearer, it integrates with all my other tools for me to be more successful, and that is a beautiful thing. Number 4, why is it growing? Well, there's this famous investor and entrepreneur named Mark Andreessen, and he has this great quote that kind of summarizes why it's been growing 40% compounded year over year, and that is that software is eating the world, meaning that everywhere you look, no matter what your job, your role, your business, your function is, there's probably a software that's super niche, that's in your vertical, that's coming in that over time will get rid of jobs, will get rid of manual process, will get rid of the requirement to be creative. I mean, you just look at something like Canva. Canva is this simple tool that allows anybody that wants to create social media assets, different imagery, promotional materials, etc., to not have to be a designer, not have to buy Photoshop or even know how to do those tools, or even know what good design looks like. They take care of all of it. And for them, by the transaction, by the month, you can pay them to have access to this power that they've spent hundreds of millions of dollars in, that you pay, $10 or $15 in a month so you can get it. And it's become an incredibly powerful business. But that's just such a simple example. But the big idea is mobile growth. That's made it so powerful. And then the subscription business model, there's something powerful when you say every month, especially if you charge on a monthly basis and people can cancel at any time, that I need to make sure I create so much value that every one of my customers decides to renew for the next month. And I create so much more value that they not only renew, they tell their friends about it, and it continues to grow. And every month I have more profit hitting the bottom line, because the average software as a service business makes 87% gross margin, because a new customer or 10 new customers or 100 new customers, for the most part, has a fractional amount of cost to the business, so they can grow very rapidly. All of that gross margin hits the bottom line, that profit, and it allows them them to reinvest in marketing and sales and customer success, in software development and R&D, so they can make an even better product. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful business model. The subscription business model is one of my favorites. It's the only one I've ever done my whole life. That's all my companies I've ever invested have been software as a service companies, all the ones I've ever built, because I love it. So those are the big ideas. So quick recap, 4 things that make SaaS so awesome. Real quick, what is SaaS? The method for delivering software. Number 2, why is it new? It's been around since the 90s, but it's now got a new name because of the internet. Number 3, why is it preferred? Because of time, value of money, and then speed of deployment and success. And number 4, why is it growing? Because the world is being eaten by software, and the subscription business model is so powerful. As I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, I want to share with you an exclusive resource called the Idea to Exit mini course. It's literally me across 3 videos teaching you exactly how to identify a great business opportunity to build a SaaS, how to pre-sell it to your ideal customer, use that pre-sales to hire a team, get it built by using clickable prototypes so you don't get somebody to build something that the customer didn't want, and then use that if you want to have other people help you fund that growth. You can click the link below to get access to your Idea to Exit mini course for free. There's no cost. And if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel, share it with somebody you think it could serve, and be sure to leave a comment and let me know if you have any questions. With that, as per usual, I want to challenge you to live a bigger life and a bigger business, and I'll see you next Monday. Oh, I've got the Idea to Exit mini course. I totally forgot.